Customer brought in this dirt bike here. The complaint was the engine was locked up, couldn't turn it over. So I came in here and checked it out. What I found was he said that he went to do a timing job on it, and he didn't put it back together correctly. Okay, so here's where it went wrong. And it went wrong, but it went right at the same time. I can't even tell you how lucky this kid got. So when he installed this thing is supposed to be in this position, right? This is how you would want to install it, like this. Well, what he did was he put the spring in it, and then he put the spring in it, and then he put the bolt in it. Well, watch what happens when you do that. When you start to push this in, the spring pushes this leg out. So this spring is just going to continue to push that out all the way. And then what he did was he put it back in there like that, and he got the bolts in it just enough and cranked it down with the bolts. So that's how that happened. This was completely locked. It would not rotate. It wouldn't even budge. And then now it's got plenty of rotation, but watch what happens. When I get to about right there, it starts to bind up. I go back the other way, it starts to bind up. So that's telling me that this timing isn't correct either. Had he have put this together the correct way, and that would have been tightened correctly, this motor would have had about a quarter of a revolution to where it can have turned. So if he would have put his leg on that kick starter right there and then cranked it over, and there's a gear reduction in there. There's a reduction gear in there to multiply the torque that your leg is putting out. It would have came up, contacted the piston to the valves, and that would have been it. He would have been pulling the top end and maybe even putting a piston in it. But luckily, he did this, and it just kind of bound everything up to where, luckily, he didn't install that correctly, because had he would have ruined the engine. It's absolutely crucial if you're going to do your own work that you make sure that you know without a shadow of a doubt that your timing is on point, because if your timing is not on point, you will end up destroying your motor. Good news is I got it all put back together and timed correctly. No exhaust on it, but it runs now. So this kid should be super happy.